Oh, hello there. I didn't see you. I'm Craig from Iron Horse Railways, and you're watching The Monday Club.
It's Monday, it's 7 p.m, and the Bronx are fueled. It's time for The Monday Club, featuring your host, Jennifer Kirk, with the help of Stubborn Monkey and a wizard called Gandalf. Featuring the sounds of the Glass-O-Eight Symphony Orchestra and the musical stylings of Gordon, the Music Maestro. Let's get ready to loco!
Big hello to you. It's so great to see you, and I hope I find you well. I actually have a microphone. I already have
a microphone. Who gave you that?
No, I have a camera to look at. The camera's moved, so it does mean I can hold things up. I'm not going to. So a big hello to you guys. So great to see you, and I hope I find you well. It is Monday, and that of course means it's time for the Monday Club. Hold on. I think there's a tumble of clowns in.
I love it.
So, tumble of clowns somewhere over there. And great to see you. We've got Skipsy Train, Southern Train Girl, Patrick Ling, Francis Alexander, Robert Becking, Flymer Chairman 1, Harry Sedgwick, Jerry BVR, Cameron Patterson, Francis Alexander, Simon Trains Model Railway Showcase, Mousehole Rail, Andy Stewart, Ruben Ashwell, Nigel Cole, Gordon McIlroy, Peter Jackson Cheadle Heath, David Shaw, Hermitage Road, Richard Swiderski, who's already spotted the TARDIS on the shuttle train. I thought that was actually quite well camouflaged. Patrick Ling says, hello, Jenny and Zoe, hope you're both well. Stefan Svensson, great to see you. Says, good evening, girls. Chehalis Valley Rail Productions says, loves the new camera. The Frustrated Modeler says, evening Mondayers. Jennifer Horton, Tim Davis, Valleys 56XX. Call me Snake. Robert
back.
Hall, Yozza, Joe Smith, Madden Steam Railways, DJ K 666, Caroline Rogers, Stevie Film, Simon the Railway Enthusiast, 83, Going to the Dogs, Trains with Nick, Worthington Model Railway, says my Monday Club wagon was finally shipped on Friday, so another week or so before I see it. Oh my word, that's
taken a while.
It has actually, yeah. Dion Wollaston, a big hello to you as well. Michael Lane, just seeing any other new names in the list. It's so great to see you. I hope I find you well. We've got loads of news.
But first,
the
Speakbox.
Anyway, no, let's not beatbox. Let us instead have a word from our sponsor. Exclusive Monday Club William Loudon Sons Palbrick wagon is now available from Rails of Sheffield. Order yours now with confidence. And I also see there is something in the air today.
There is.
So big hello to Iron Horse Railways.
Oh,
it's so great to see you.
Oh, that's cruel. Funny but cruel.
Yeah, see what I did there? Ben Davis says it's my birthday tomorrow.
Happy birthday to you. Squash, tomatoes and stew. Bread and butter in the gutter. Happy birthday to you.
And for a small payment, you can stop us singing for the rest of the show. Oh my word. We've got Zantex says, hey y'all. Hi there. Right, so what's in the news?
What is in the news, Jenny?
Well, I'll tell you. First up is that Simon Kohler has announced his retirement again from Hornby. I say again, slightly tongue-in-cheek, but it is true. He has retired from there once before. So I
just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
Absolutely, no, but it's interesting actually. A bit like my dad. My dad found it very difficult to retire. Couldn't manage it the first time. Went back to work, got a job. Because I think Simon Kohler, he's been so used to being there at the throbbing heart of the hobby that I suspect that he'll find it very difficult to give up the role. And I don't think that he'll just be like in his garden gardening and that's it. We'll never see Simon Kohler again. I suspect that he may well carry on with a step-back role as a consultant for the likes of Hornby.
Maybe that will find him showing up at someone else's place, like Ollie from Waddle Road. Like, give us a go on your train. You know I'm good for it. I need my fix, man. I need my fix.
Of course, Ollie at Wardle Road's just got his new 88 DS. I say new. It was new to Warrington Gas Board.
It was new to him.
Yeah, new to him. But originally, it was bought new from the manufacturer to work at Warrington Gas Works. But yeah, he's been having a grand old time with that. We need to get over there and see him at some point.
Absolutely.
David, it's my model railway, says, so when do you take over from Simon? I suspect that there's quite a long queue in front of me.
There will be a very long queue.
With Montana at the front going, do you mind? This is taken.
I sometimes wonder, in situations like this, whether they would promote from the inside on someone who's basically been shadowing him, knowing that he's likely to retire. Or whether they will open it up to tenders. But would you want the job? Because we've talked about this before. It can be
a bit of a thankless task. I think there's a lot of Hornby bashers out there. There's a lot of Jenny bashers as well. It's nice to know I live rent-free in so many heads.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That it's not all fun and games playing with trains. There's a lot of hard
it's a serious
work behind the
business.
Scenes and everything that's wrong, even if you didn't do that. Do it, even if you weren't responsible for it. You're the one that takes the hit.
Yeah, and that's, one of the things, Simon has done a great job for Hornby because he's the person everybody always rants at.
Yeah.
So he's actually does a very good job of running interference for the people actually making the decisions.
Yeah. I'm not sure I would want a job like that.
I don't know. I think it might be quite good fun and certainly be great to be paid to be in the hobby like that. But I would be very surprised if Montana Hearn didn't get the job. I think that she is the perfect choice, most definitely. And the only reason I would ever see for Montana to not end up in that role is if she herself turned it down for whatever reason. And I think that, if they came to me and said, do you want the job? My first question would be, does Montana not want it? I think, she should be your first choice.
Yeah.
No, I think that, he's in his 70s, so he's certainly been in the hobby pretty much all his life. I think he started out working at a model shop and then worked for Hammond & Morgan, which got taken over as part of the Hornby Empire.
You were working in a model shop and
as we've said before, if you wish to stop Zoe from singing, then Super Chat is available. Just leave a note saying, please shut Zoe up. Nigel Cole, Montana is a natural choice. Ruben Ashwell says that warship seems to be going quite fast.
It's at ludicrous speed.
It's got an ESU Locksound 5 in, and I ran the automatic setup program that you can do. I think it's like CV54 or 52. And it's created a curious speed curve where the model flies off at lower speeds and then slows down and then speeds up again. So there's a sweet spot. That's the slowest I can get it to run. Zantex says, you just murdered that song. Yes, you did. You murdered it. That's it. You're going up before the beak for that.
And, yep.
David Scott
we
says,
will not be getting monetization on tonight's channel, will we?
David Scott says, Simon Kay worked in the model shop in Northampton. Ed Zegg says, not sure Montana knows enough about model railways. She's more on the promotion side, isn't she?
You have to know something about model railways to promote them.
She does. She's been in the industry long enough that she is incredibly knowledgeable. She knows the workings of Hornby. And she seems to work very, very closely with Simon. So she's shadowed him for a good number of years by now. She's a very switched-on lady. I'm sure that she has picked up all of the info. And in some respects, not being a modeler herself, at least I'm assuming that. I never actually did ask her. I'm just assuming that she doesn't go home of a night and build a model railway. Maybe she does. But I think sometimes that outside looking in to the hobby without the baggage of going, well, I want one of these and I want one of these. She can see the cool hard nuts and bolts of it. And I think, maybe that could be quite an asset for the job. DJ K666 says, the model shop in Northampton is older than Hatton's, I'm told. Wow. Is it actually still there? DJ K666 says, definitely, I think Montana has a good head for business and she knows the bean. I think that means brand. Obviously, working with Simon, she's had a great apprenticeship. And don't forget as well, Montana had a career before Hornby. I believe that she worked in promotions outside of the model rail hobby. So she is incredibly experienced as well. So I think that Montana would be the great choice to promote. And I think as well, having a female outlook within the hobby, it would be a great thing. Rick Morley says, hi everyone. Sorry I'm late. Here he comes. No, don't trip over your cloak.
A Monday clubber is never late to the wagons, nor is he hurry. He arrives precisely when he means to.
Thanks Gandalf. Gosh, he's off quick. Anybody would think you had a packet of biscuits in.
Oh, biscuits. Right, I am off to find some biscuits. Jenny?
Yes?
What's in the news?
In the news is you're going off to find some custard creams, I think.
Oh.
I like the ones with the orange in the middle.
I'd love to find some of those.
Yeah.
Jenny?
Yes?
Jenny?
Zoe? What's in the news?
I forgot what I was going to ask. Something about the Monday Club wagon.
Yeah, what about it?
Is it still available?
I believe it still is. Oh, there it is. Sorry.
No, not the green
And this
figure.
one is for all the people watching in 3D. How? We're not broadcasting in 3D.
I have done too many things here. I have given you a finger on a stick to prod people.
And
I've given
a
you
tumble of clowns.
And I've given you a new camera so that you can gawk at people.
Can I just say, it's not a new camera. It's just the previous camera has moved to a new location. Francis Alexander says, Jenny and Zoe, hope you enjoyed your King's Coronation weekend too.
Yes,
Did we?
Well, I wanted to go down to town to see what was going on in terms of the celebrations, but there didn't seem to be that much going on.
No, we did arrive many hours after the event. We had a
but even
lion.
so, we would have.
I don't know why I'm looking up there. Like I'm looking to the old camera. Yeah,
because we're used to this old thing of they would still have had the stuff coming down afterward, like the big screen if there'd been one. Because normally it goes up the day before, it comes down the day after. There was nothing.
Iron Horse Railway says, news, Bachmann have started smoking crack and are asking £379.95 for a sound-fitted Class 37. I always knew they had a sense of humour. And it's that inexplicable march upwards of prices. Unfortunately, things are getting very expensive. Now, there are reasons why Bachmann is kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. Part of this is because the parent company, is it Sandokan, their factories make for a whole bunch of subsidiary companies. So like Bachmann USA, Bachmann China, Lilliput, all of these different brands. And I believe they also make parts for other companies as well. So injection molded plastic, there's a lot of things, say for example in the car industry, there are parts to be made. And some of these can be quite lucrative. So when Bachmann effectively had to bid on the internal market within the Sandokan conglomerate, they can't just say, well, we believe this would be a fair price, because the parent company can just say, well, actually, we could make these parts for General Motors or for Toyota or whomever, and they will pay us this, so we make a lot more money doing that, so why should we give you tooling time to make those models, because they're just not making enough money. And so Bachmann have to effectively pitch for the factory time at a price that is profitable to the parent company.
What the hell is the point then?
You could argue that actually we're seeing a point where is it time that Sander Khan actually sold Bachmann if they're reaching up? But the other flip side of that coin is people are still buying them.
That is a good point.
So if people still buy at that price, perhaps what we should be saying is maybe actually the expectations of some modelers is not keeping up with the realities.
Yes, but at the same time, £400 for a local is a high price.
Or can I just say, Krista Duke says, "Sorry I'm late. Virgin Wi-Fi decided not to work."
A Monday clubber is never late, Toto Wagons.
He creeps up on you.
Nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
Well said, Gandalf. Well
Thank
said. Jerry BVR says, "No point charging sky-high prices if they're not selling any."
But that's the thing, they seem to be selling. And there
Some-
are other brands that are very high priced.
Yeah, and they're not the only one. But then again, there are some other brands that do seem to still be able to charge at a lot lower prices. One of the interesting things in the announcement, I think it was last week or the week before, was the Hattons are doing more production runs for a lot of the models they've done in the past, and they're actually cheaper than they were when they first came out. And the speculation on this is that, of course, the tooling costs are, I always get this word wrong. Amortized,
Yeah.
Amortized, which is just like a posh word for paid off.
Say that!
Within the first production run, basically paid the costs of making the tooling. So you then have a production run where you don't have the cost of making the tooling because it's already paid off, as it were. So £85 for the P class, for the Andrew Barclay, is incredible pricing structures. Then again, we've also got KR models. The Monday Club wagon, £25. For a new tooled wagon, pretty reasonable. Amortized, Gordon McIlroy, amortized. I always get it. I know the word, my mouth just gets encrypted somewhere along the lines. Iron Horse Railway says, "I would perhaps suggest that £380 is aimed at the wealthy and retired, heavily pensioned up individual. Hattons don't seem to be having issues keeping costs fair, neither do Daypol." Hashtag made in GP. Thank you so much for mentioning that. We did the visit to Daypol. And it's one of these things that I think somebody did say about, it's gone off the top of the screen now, but in terms of shipping costs have come down, and that was always touted as one of the reasons that prices went up. So I guess, maybe Hattons are passing on the reduction in shipping costs as well. I don't know. I don't know the nuts and bolts ins and outs. All I know is that £85 for a P class and an Andrew Barclay as well is a blooming good price. But we did go and visit Daypol on Friday, and they're making stuff in the UK. Now, granted, some, but not all, of the tooling is quite old, so it's been amortized a long time ago. But they're doing, not just the former Hornby 00 style wagons, but we're also seeing the all new O-gauge items. Whilst I was there, they were producing O-gauge salt wagons. They call them lime wagons. I call them salt wagons because I'm used to the Saxa salt from Hornby 00. But they were producing these in both 00 and O-gauge whilst we were there. And even ones with a lot of separately fitted parts. And if you've ever seen the O-gauge wagons, they are really good. And they're able to make these at a very competitive price in the UK. Gordon McIlroy says, "So good a price, I ordered 2 P class." Yeah, absolutely. Although Nigel Cole points out if they manufacture in the UK, price would be £700. Locomotives are not cost effective to make in the UK, but a lot of other items are. So at Daypol, we're looking at rolling stock is being made in the UK. Shipping containers, even with those very impressive liveries, are being made cost effectively in the UK. They're doing pre-coloured laser cut card kits here in the UK. So there is a lot of stuff that you can do in the UK at a competitive price because it doesn't necessarily need a lot of labour to assemble stuff. And that's been the problem, is it's the cost of labour. You need very nimble-fingered people who can work quickly and accurately to assemble stuff like a locomotive. And I know from having done work on repairing models for a manufacturer that if you build one out of spare parts, and I did this once just to see how easy it was. I ended up with a box full of spare parts for this one particular type of locomotive, and I actually built one out of the parts, just rummaged through, went, well, I need one of those, the motor, circuit board, you know, front and back marker lights, chassis block, bogies, driving wheels, bloody, you know, and so on and so on. And it took me about 3 hours to assemble a locomotive. And bear in mind that there's effectively some sub-assemblies within that. You know, things like the motor had already been assembled, the bogies were all pre-assembled with the springs and stuff. So 3 hours to make one locomotive. And you know, what would you pay somebody? If you paid somebody minimum wage to do that, they'd go, get lost, I get a much easier job doing something else for minimum wage. So you're going to have to pay a premium. So let's say, to attract and retain skilled staff, maybe you have to pay £20 to £25 an hour. So there you are, 3 hours to assemble a locomotive. Maybe over time you could get that down to 2. That's still like 50 quid just in the wages for somebody to assemble that. And that's just assembly. That doesn't include sub-assemblies. It doesn't include the printing, painting, finishing. Doesn't include soldering parts. Doesn't include so much else. And before you know, you can see why these things become so expensive. It's as simple as that. Paul Murphy says, I gave a like. Absolutely. Good for you. And don't forget, everybody else, do please tickle that like button. It's a really great way of showing your appreciation to the channel. Friday's video is approaching 1,000 likes, which is really, really humbling to know that you guys are supporting the channel in this way. So it's a great way to support the Monday Club, as well as sharing it to social media, be it Facebook, TikTok. Yeah, we're down with the kids. We've heard the name TikTok. We've got no idea how it works. Instagram, my face. But yeah, do consider sharing us out to social media and let everybody know that we're up and running. He also says, and they make a massive profit on selling. Now again, not necessarily. I know from my experience of commissioning for you guys the Monday Club wagons, and you'll see there's a link down there, and somewhere just up there. All right, oh, my hand's gone behind the layout. Up there is some details on it. Naive Gauge, good for you, good for you. You've liked the stream, and hopefully other people have. But yeah, what's I talking about? Retro Ramble says, what's for tea tonight? Well, I'm drinking just cordial, cheap blackcurrant cordial. But yeah, oh, something to do with price. Sorry, I've got low blood sugar, so I'm all over the place. Oh, PDTT120 said late again. Sorry, Gandalf. Gandalf's gone with Zoe to the shop. He'll be back in a bit, but I'm sure he will let you know that you're not late. DL Warren says, you get locomotives like the Bachmann V2 that are nearly £200 brand new. When you can buy a second-hand one for £50, do a bit of weathering, it's a cheaper model and gets you practicing modelling. Bear in mind, though, that some of these models, like the V2, formerly had, at some point, a split chassis. So, the Bachmann V2 model, if you buy an older, cheaper model, it isn't necessarily worth the money. Now, we have shown on this channel, with, I think it was last Wednesday's video, that there are certain really good older models out there, like the Bachmann N-Class Mogul, which has kind of become quite cheap second-hand, but it doesn't mean it's an inferior model, quite the opposite. So I showed that you could buy for under £50. In fact, I shared a screen grab from Hatton's where I found the same model. After I bought the one that I did the video with, I paid £49.50 for mine that I mystery shopped from Rails. I then found it was at Hatton's, so I shared the screen grab, which showed exactly the same model available at £39, so more than £10 less. And that's just unprecedented. £39 for a working boxed example of the Bachmann N-Class in pristine condition, not a split chassis locomotive as the listing suggested. And as I showed in the video, DCC fit them, super duper easy peasy. There are some great second-hand bargains out there, but the V2, the first versions of those that Bachmann brought out were split chassis. They then did a chassis upgrade, and I've actually got one of the chassis upgrade ones. These are the sweet spot. They have an uprated chassis which is DCC ready, and that's what I always say to people: if you're unsure, look for a model that is DCC ready. Even if you only do DC running, the fact that it's got a DCC socket tells you that it's the newer style chassis, so you don't get any of the problems that come with split chassis, with the axles, the axle muffs that hold them together and keep the quartering splitting, making the locomotive go out of quartering. You don't get the dodgy pickup issue either. And then they did the full retooled version, which is the £200 model. All right. Madden Steam Railway says the Monday Club wagon is in the top left corner of my screen. It is, yeah. It's sort of above my head, up here. There we go. Oswestry Road TMD says, so I've tickled that button. Thank you so much. Vic Freak says, speaking of Bachmann, they don't put some of the fine detail on the locomotives. Yeah, you get a little packet with some of the fine detail. But I've got sympathy with that. Some of that can be like buffer beam detail, where it's you either have the coupling or the buffer beam detail, so they give you the options. RGJ Train says, evening all from North Wales. Evening to you, great to see you. Naive Gauge says, so today I finally finished editing a video for the first time in months. Nothing like an extra bank holiday to be able to catch up on things. Also just changed to traction tyres on my 8F. And yeah, Valley's 56XX says, yes indeed, split chassis locos are utter rubbish. Please send them to me for disposal. I do have some actually, and people will be screaming at the screen saying, you know, you can DCC fit split chassis locos. Yes, you can. It's not easy though, and your results may differ. I have DCC fitted a split chassis Bachmann A4 before now. And worked absolutely fine until the another issue crept in, and that's the problem you get. It's like another issue will turn up to ruin your day. I've also DCC fitted a split chassis J39 from Bachmann. Again, not easy, but I did it. I've done some Class 04 shunters as well. Not easy, and to be honest, not likely to try that again in the future. It's a lot of work for very little gain. King Fox Junction asks, where can I get the new wagon of yours? It's in the description box underneath the video. If you're watching on YouTube, you should find a link. But essentially, if you go to Rails of Sheffield, I think it's like railsofsheffield.com, and do a search for Jenny Kirk. Just put in my name, and you will find the Jenny Kirk Monday Club wagon available to buy, £25 from Rails of Sheffield. And we did check. They're in stock at the moment, and Flymo Chairman 1 has just shared the link in the chat. Thank you so much, Flymo. Great having you at work here. It makes my life so much easier. Charlie Chimp says, hey, Jen, are you running any coronation specials tonight? No, I'm not. But what have we got running? Okay, so we have got... Princess Coronation class. So if I go to this angle and just coming around the back, actually just disappearing behind the chat. Let's see if we can pick you up somewhere else. Actually, no, I'll tell you what we'll do. So it's just coming into view, but I'm going to change for the mountain cam. So at the moment you're just seeing the tail end of the coal train whizzing past. There's a Class 43 with the Cornish Riviera or something like that. The lovely Mark 1 coaches there. On the top we have an Alco S4 with the US hoppers. And Trains with Nick says, when did you get the US hoppers to go with the Alco? A Monday Club have very kindly sent a load of wagons over from the US, really in their debt, and these are 2 of those wagons. Really, really grateful for these, and they run lovely, as you can see behind the Alcos S4. Now, there's a Princess Coronation going round. I can't remember. It's number 46206, but I can't remember which name that is. And that's pulling the mix of Blood and Custard and All Maroon Mark 1s. We've also got a pair of Bachmann Class 20s on the very, very long coal train going round. And then there's a pair of the DCC shuttles are being run by Bachmann Class 25s because they're bulletproof reliable with the Zen Black decoders and the DCC Concepts ABC boards. And then the final ABC shuttle is a Hornby Class 56 fitted with the HM 7000 decoder. And currently we've got a whole load of clowns riding that. There's a tumble of clowns riding the Class 56. Hark. Oh, and there's the straggler. So there we go. 156 Andrew, hi to you. And there's a few people being late, but I said Gandalf's been out.
Gandalf is out picking biscuits with me.
Yeah. So Gandalf, a couple of people trying to claim they're late.
The Monday Clubber is never late, Frodo Wagons. Nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
Thanks, Gandalf.
Sorry about that, guys. Apparently we just disappeared again.
Oh, we're back, though. Marin49 says, Princess Mary Louise is 46206. Thank you. I always get it mixed up. OOX, Circle of Doom. Yeah, unfortunately, we don't
know what's going on. YouTube is a right mess at the moment.
We suspect Virgin Media, because that's suggesting it's not sending anything. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's Virgin Media.
I just don't know. This is the 3rd week in a row that this has happened.
Yeah.
Virgin have been out and dealt with issues in this area 4 times in 3 weeks.
Clearly they're not fixing it.
No, there's something wrong. I think someone is actually actively messing with the local thing. Probably someone trying to steal broadband or something like that.
Well, get a free connection.
Yeah.
Right, so, Trains with Nick says Gandalf just glitched the Matrix. Alex 10, big hello to you, and Valley's 56XX. Yeah, split chassis, where there are 2 electrically live halves of the chassis insulated from one another by plastic parts, and they actually provide the conduit for the power to the motor. Very, very simple design, but deeply unreliable.
Sometimes simple is not good.
Yeah, Ham Shackleton says, back on, but Jenny Cam has changed sides. I think that's by design, so that I don't actually block the action, which is over there.
When I spin the TARDIS into shot, you can actually see it.
TARDIS!
Look at the special effect. Look at those special effects. My goodness.
Wow, it's like we're watching 1960s Doctor Who. So,
1960s Doctor Who?
Yes.
My goodness, I didn't know I was that good.
Yeah, grumpy old man. Careful!
I didn't do it on purpose.
I know you didn't, but the results are the same. So, anyway, we're talking about some of the new releases. We did get a bit sidetracked, but we've had...
Jenny getting sidetracked,
yes.
But that never happens.
So, also... we've got EFE Summer announcements, and these are quite impressive, including...
the EFE or are they EFE?
No, EFE. And quite impressively, they've dipped their toe in the water of O-Gauge for the first time, with a ready-to-run Class 15 model. We're looking at a price point of £369.95.
Is that good?
It's actually cheaper than that sound-fitted 00 Class 37. So yeah, I think you're getting a good price on these.
Either that or Bachmann are really starting to exit price.
No, I think the EFE models, because EFE comes via Bachmann, but it's quite a cunning method, and there may be more to EFE than meets the eye, because this is stuff that effectively isn't made by Sandokan. And Bachmann is kind of acting as like the sole commissioner of these models from other companies. A lot of these came from places like Kernow Model Centre. And there's a part of me thinking that it may have something to do with actually circumventing these huge price rises, the reasons for which that we talked about before. So we've got the Class 15 in O gauge available in all permutations of the liveries that it carried, pretty much. So we've got it in green, so plain green, as D8200, also as 8204. And then we've got with the small yellow ends as 8234. Then we've got another one, small yellow panels as D8219. And then full yellow ends as D8235 and 8239. We've also got another release of the, I think it's the Class 143 two-car DMUs, number 143001 in BR Provincial. This was the original livery. I remember them running in that livery, and it kind of morphed into regional railways, or, well, I think Provisional morphed from regional railways. But either way, they've got a similar kind of vibe. Certainly one of the more popular liveries that were being asked for. Also the Class 144 in West Yorkshire Public Transport Executive Metro livery. We also in the wagon front, again in 00, the PRA China Clay wagons, multiple different versions of these. These were a Kernow Model Centre commission, I believe. And it's nice to see them reappear. They are retailing at $52.95. It's not exactly the cheapest of wagons.
That is a bit expensive.
In N gauge, we've got the PBA Tiger Bogie Hopper at $44.95. Multiple different versions, weathered, unweathered, blue, and also white versions. So plenty for the N gauge modeler as well. Moving over to the main Bachmann announcements, the 00 gauge announcements include sound fitted at 2MT, and
I've been 2MT as well, which is why I'm having these biscuits.
And sorry, we've got the Class 20 sound fitted, Class 37 sound fitted. And the Class 40, this is probably the big news. The Class 40 has seen a little bit of an upgrade, not a full fat upgrade, but I did predict this off the back of KR Models announcing that they were going to do a Class 40 of their own. And I have to say, it completely expected, and I did say to KR Models when they announced the Class 40, I said, just expect that Bachmann will be upgrading their Class 40 as a result, in the same way that the Class 37 got an upgrade when Accurascale announced their new Class 37. Well, we've got not quite the full fidelity upgrade, but we've got better DCC functionality and some new nose versions, I believe, as well. So I think Bachmann's making the most out of their Class 40 tools and making it a bit more of an uphill struggle on KR Models delivering something super duper special, which I'm sure they will do, but I think they announced too soon to actually, they gave Bachmann a bit too much of a heads up, would be my thoughts. James Petts, big hello to you. Very important from the Bachmann announcements are the Farish N-Gauge announcements. Lots of reruns, Mark 1 and Mark 2F carriages, making a big difference to a lot of people. And Jennifer Horton says, Kohler's Rail Class 70s. Of course, you are biased, being an engineer for Kohler's. Big hello to Bushy Junction. Great to see you. Valley's 56XX says, Class 20s are pulling unfitted grey 16-ton mineral wagons and a few 20-tonners too. Yeah, there's quite a lot there, actually. Might be a bit boring to actually sit and count them, because they are crawling along. This is due to a mismatch in speed curves. between the two Class 20s. So they're currently running at the sweet spot where both locomotives are at the same speed, at the same throttle setting, because they're double-headed by changing one of them to the same running number as the other and reversing its direction in CV29 is how they're actually doing that. I've never had much luck doing double headers. Iron Horse Railways does point out that they've sold out of the sound ones, so clearly someone is buying them at £350 a pop. And that comes back to what we said before, that quite frankly, we might moan about the prices, but somebody is buying them. But certain things, I have also noticed, and we have done videos on some of this, there have been a few sales of late and some really great prices, which suggests to me that not everything is selling at those prices. And what the manufacturers do seem to be finding is that there's certain must-have liveries, but some of the other liveries get left by the wayside as people go, well, that's not the livery I super-duper wanted. So you're seeing certain liveries do sell out that are popular, and it's becoming really difficult for the manufacturers to judge what are the must-have liveries that will justify those prices. Iron Horse Railway says, I still want one, just can't justify the price. But we do have the Acura Scale Class 37. I believe that on the water now are the next batch, including that really quite eye-catching BR small logo blue with the very light grey cantrail stripe, the body stripe, as Loch Isle. So there are some more really desirable liveries coming. And at DCC ready for $169.99, I think it is. And they do promise to be popular as per the first run of the DRS, regional railways and intercity executive livery, which have pretty much all sold out now.
So we've got a few people asking if I've got their videos. I actually do not know. I'm having a look through and setting up for tonight's videos, but I honestly could not tell you off the bat because I have been festooned with spam over this last weekend. I'm actually now getting spam sent to my WhatsApp, and I don't know what's happened there. But
I got spam sent to my WhatsApp. Some piece of poo that was trying to con me into some kind of seminar or something, and it's like, get lost, kick, ban, block.
Yeah, it's like,
is that what you were getting?
Spam is all over the place, and I've started noticing a trend with spam.
Yeah,
it increases just before a recession.
Yeah, get rich quick scheme. It used to be you'd get them on the TV, they'd borrow your way out of debt, like, there was even enough left over for a holiday, so that when I came back, Tom Nook would get his pound of flesh.
But what I'm seeing now is that there's a lot of stuff that's coming. Tim's Model Railways in different videos says, you're too close to the camera, Jenny. So you're, no, she's not too close to the camera.
Hey,
what?
Can see my eyes.
We moved it because she was far away from the camera.
Yeah.
She's meant to be this far. This is
where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah, this is what we wanted from the start.
Well, I'll move back a little bit. There you are. How's that? Just for you.
Yeah.
And Zantec just bring up an interesting point. Items sold out, soon to be on eBay. We do see a lot of that with a bit of gougery. Especially with the Queen Elizabeth II Jubilee locomotive in that eye-catching purple. Yeah, and there's a lot of people gouging on that.
That does annoy me. I'm sorry, but we've got to start looking for ways to deal with this. It's not just in the model railway community, it's in everything. If something is limited edition, the scalpers buy them all up.
It's always fun, though, when the scalpers get caught out and get stuck with loads of stock they end up having to sell for less than they paid for it.
I agree, but at the same time, we need to stop that happening in the first place, because it happened with consoles last time. You couldn't get a PS5 unless you bought it from a scalper for months, if not most of a year.
I remember the Wii Fit balance board was like that as well.
Yeah, it's terrible.
And the Wii.
We shouldn't be in this situation. Why is scalpers able to buy 50
tickets,
copies of something?
Tickets for rock concerts were a big thing with this.
Oh, the worst part of that is have a look into some of the videos that have gone into a deep look of what's been happening there.
And what is happening?
It appears that some of the people selling the tickets have shares in the companies that are buying the tickets and then scalping them.
So they're actually just the stuff
double
never
tipping.
went on sale.
Yeah.
So effectively, they're pre-allocating a block of the tickets to their scalping companies.
And it answers one of the questions, doesn't it?
What? How they managed to get them so quick?
Not just that, but those people can get 50, 60, 70 copies. I can't get one. Why?
Yeah,
Because they've already sold them before it even went on there, before I had a chance to buy one, that kind of thing.
yeah. And the thing is, it's like if you know, how are these people having hundreds of tickets? And it's like, how were they able to do that so quick? It just, a lot of it doesn't make sense until you realise there's a bit of cheating going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, unfortunately, it's become a scourge of our day. I remember when eBay was it was like a glorified car boot sale. Do you remember that, when it wasn't about
Back.
Here we are.
Right. We're back again, and tell you what, I am going to be having words with Virgin Media.
I think we need to move. Quite frankly, we've been with Virgin Media for over 10 years, and quite frankly, they're not doing
They're taking
anything.
us for granted now, are they?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think we need to shop around. J. Paul Anderson, big hello to you. Ben Davis says, what do you think, Jennifer, of the Bachmann Practically Perfect event happening later this month? Now, they used to have these at, they'd have like a stand, the Bachmann Return stand. It shows like Wally. And one of the things that was noted latterly was that there were people who would buy advance tickets to get into Wally. They'd go straight over there and they'd fill bags and bags of stuff buying it. And they were out of the show, gone. Couldn't be bothered with anything else in the show. They were gone by 10, 11 o'clock in the morning with bags and bags of stuff that they just pushed to the front and bought loads of to put it straight on eBay at inflated prices. And I think this is one of the reasons why Bachmann have moved to this Practically Perfect sale, which is a collectors club only event, to try and deal with some of this.
So they were pushing their way in to get all the stuff.
Yeah, they're basically getting an advance ticket to get into Wally, to gain access to cheaper stuff, to then fill bags and bags of this and then just take it away and list it on eBay to scalp other modelers. And I'm not down on this profiteering, because that's what it is. It's profiteering at the expense of modelers. Now, you could argue, is it partially the fault of manufacturers for not meeting demand? And this day and age, we have this batch production process.
You mean the Nintendo issue?
Yeah, and the problem is that, we're talking about our limited edition's a good thing. And this is the problem you get when everything is effectively a limited edition. And when you look at model railways now I remember when I was a kid, if you wanted something from that year's Hornby catalogue, you got the catalogue, and those items were available on the shelf in model shops all year round. Granted, you didn't have a huge choice, but you had time to save up and buy it. There was no such thing as scalping. It just, you went out, you bought it, and job's a good one.
Yeah,
And that was because...
saved. You've hit the nail on the head there. You had time to save.
Yeah. Now, everything is like, order it now or miss out. Open, get it on pre-order or you'll miss out. And effectively, what we've seen is everything is a limited edition. And when you look at the batch sizes, Bachmann, one of the Bachmann people on the stand a couple of years ago, you remember the C-Class in that Southeastern and Chatham Railway livery, and they were going on eBay for like £550 within a week or so because they proved so popular. Well, Bachmann admitted to me they only made 300 of those because they didn't know whether it would sell or not. So actually, there was short supply of them, very short supply.
Well, that I can understand. They didn't know if it would sell. They took a punt on a low run. I can understand that, and that's fine.
Yeah, and actually Stevie Film Good Point said when Margate made the models all year. And that's something, actually, that Daypol can do.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's selling really well. Put the tooling back on the machine, we'll do another run of the same thing. Yeah. So they can meet demand. They have flexibility to meet demand.
That is a big thing as well. Now everything's moved to China. The lead times alone.
Because the problem is you book your factory slot like years in advance.
And you book your shipping slot as well.
Yeah, and the problem with that is, imagine that you've got a model that proves so popular on pre-order, it just sells out months before it's going to be in the country. And then you've got modelers clamouring, saying, well, why can't you make more? And the truth is that the manufacturer has booked a production slot for that tool in that factory.
Yeah.
And that is simply enough time for that factory to make the models you originally ordered. If they were to make more models, they would need a longer production slot, but they can't do that because they've already sold the slot afterwards to somebody else. Or in some cases, and we saw this, I think, with certain Hornby models, Hornby they've booked multiple slots one after the other. So say that this model is proving really, really popular, they could say, okay, well, we'll cancel that production run and take that space to make more of this model. And we've seen certain models pushed back, and that is one of the reasons that could be for that. But you don't have the flexibility. Whereas when we were at Daypol, I asked them just that. I said, so, with it being here, you can react to demand. If suddenly there's a big demand for something, you can just make more. And it's like, yeah, literally, we get the sales figures in, and the same day we could go, well, I'll tell you what, let's just make more.
Yeah.
And if they really needed to, I guess they could run a night shift if they really needed to increase production.
And that's the thing, if you're all sharing a factory and it's far away, your times are so low, which is why everything becomes limited. And this is why I wanted to do a chat like tonight about the limited editions. Is it actually good for the hobby?
Oh,
I actually say no.
Interesting. Flymo Chairman 1 says, I saw the Sterling singles have been cancelled. Saw the article on the Monday Club Facebook page. I missed that.
You missed something on your own club.
Yeah, easily done. Call me Snake. Says the TT starter sets restock delayed till autumn. Prime scalping opportunity for early buyers. David Scott says still waiting for the GWR 15XX loco to arrive. It must be getting on for 4 years since it was announced. Peter Russ says because the tools still exist, then second edition should be a lot cheaper as no significant tooling costs are needed. And that is exactly what we were talking about with the Hattons.
With the amortized
because they've paid for the tooling.
Yeah.
And that's why they have chosen, rather than to make a larger profit margin, I guess, to pass on the savings to the model, which I think is really great.
Yeah.
And interestingly
Fair
enough,
dues to Hattons for doing that.
can I just say, this has also screwed some scalpers, and I do thoroughly approve of this, because the Bluebell P-Class, which is in a blue version of the SECR livery, the really ornate one, but with Bluebell on the side, as ran at the Bluebell Railway, that from the first run, they were going for, I saw them up to £600 on eBay. They've announced another run. It was never billed as a limited edition. So the people are going, oh, you're devaluing my model. It's like, just jump off a tall building onto a bicycle with no seat.
That's something I hate in the... I'm a video game collector.
Yeah, the pulling up the ladder thing.
Yeah, you're devaluing my stuff.
Yes, so
Your stuff has no value as far as I'm concerned. I bought something, you bought something.
yeah.
You bought it because you wanted it. If you bought it as an investment, you're an idiot.
Yeah, you bought the model train because you supposedly wanted to run it. If you're buying as an investment, you're in the wrong hobby. And there have been a number of articles, actually, online about people whose collections, they've spent like £300,000 over their lifetime. They pass away. And the family bungs it all into an auction. And in much fanfare, oh, look, it's a £300,000 model train collection. And it made only £75,000.
Because it wasn't a £300,000 collection. No. The total cost is not what it's actually worth. It's what you paid for. And this is what it all comes down to. There's a line in a film called Shallow Grave. And the film itself is not that brilliant. It's okay. Christopher Eccleston early role. Pretty good for that. But one line in there always comes back to me. Oh, you've been spending this money? What? Don't worry about it. We bought a video camera. It only cost us 500 quid. No. That's what you paid for it. You don't know what it's cost you. And it's the same thing about value. I paid £500 for this video camera. It doesn't mean it's actually valuable. It doesn't mean it's worth that much. It's just what you paid for it.
Absolutely. I think we might need to plug in the extractor fan. Could you do the honours? There may be a little bit of fan noise, but we are getting quite warm up here. So that hopefully will start to move.
DJK 666, you are absolutely correct. I buy models to run and enjoy, not to make a profit from them. That's what everyone should be doing. But some people don't, and those ones that don't do it spoil the hobby for others. I say, oh, you're devaluing my stuff. No,
It's like
they're
those
not.
people who put their name down for like the top of the line Lamborghini or the new Ford GT, and they're buying them as an investment, and it's become such a problem in the car world that the manufacturers are actually finding ways of stopping people from just flipping the vehicles, immediately selling it at a fast profit because they've got waiting lists for them.
Yeah.
And actually, with some vehicle manufacturers in America, I'm not entirely sure that this would actually be legal in the UK, but in America they said that the warranty is only valid to the original purchaser. So if you buy a car that has, say, like a 3 or a 5 or a 10-year warranty, and then flip it for a profit because they're in demand,
Yeah.
it's like it has no warranty. So
Yeah.
it could break after, just drive it down the road, and the person who bought it from the scalper gets nothing. It's like, too bad, you've got to pay for it. The engine could blow. And even if it's a manufacturing fault, they're saying the warranty was with the original purchaser.
To be honest with you, that should be the case. It is technically a contract for service. I can see how that would work.
Yeah,
But let's get back to what we were talking about with the actual models.
yeah, well, going back to Bluebell, and I think somebody said about how, it sounded like a James Petsism. It's like, I approve of scalping the scalpers sort of thing. But yeah, the Bluebell, up until Hatton's announced they were doing an identical production run, and it has to be said, they never said it was limited edition. So as far as they're concerned, it's cool to make another batch of exactly the same. So I've seen them fall in price at the moment from £600. Some scalper is desperately trying to hook one for £275. As we sit here, with Hatton's having announced you can pre-order one for £85. And it's like, do I have mug tattooed on my forehead? Jennifer Horton says,
Yes.
what I hate about limited editions is it prevents future generations from having certain prototypes. Nobody's going to produce another Great Northern Railway #1 or Midland Compound 1000. I know what you mean. It's like, why? Why do you need that as a selling point? And I guess, there's this limited editions used to be a very niche thing. And there would be a big special occasion, but as soon as everything becomes a limited edition, in fact, and there's so many. I mean, like Bachmann private owner wagons.
Yeah.
Just I'm a sucker for anything that says limited edition, but I'm not buying them to profit. I'm buying them because I want them. And I like the fact that they're a bit more unusual, and some of them are because they'll be sold through one particular shop.
But here's the thing: it comes down to what was in the film The Incredibles. When everybody's super, no one is.
Yeah, exactly.
If everything is limited edition, nothing is, because they're all the same. There's no special thing about writing limited edition on your model.
Yeah.
Everyone is just producing one batch.
Marin49 says, I've hit the like button ×2. But that just takes it back off. You have to hit the like button an odd number, or actually it has no effect. Call me snakes. It sounds good. Give the scalpers bluebells. But yeah, Vic Freak says, I have my collection in a book in case I snuff it. As 70 of my collection is sound fitted, I have a breakdown of values so my wife doesn't get ripped off. I expect around 125 for a sound loco. But yeah, I've seen a lot of people have ended up selling collections from a dead relative and actually getting the equivalent of like £10 a loco. In fact, in one instance, it did the rounds actually. People were so incensed by the particular retailer who'd lowballed the wife of this collector who'd passed away. The equivalent of £2 per locomotive, which is just rude, to be honest with you.
That retailer,
that's rude.
If that retailer is still in business, they shouldn't be. It's as simple as that.
I know which the retailer.
I'm not going to ask you to say it, but I am very much a capitalist. I think capitalism is great. I am not, however, in favour of taking advantage of people. Because that's not capitalism, that's just immoral.
Hello to the Growler Blackwood. Engage layout. That suggests a degree of lateness. Oh, we found the tannoy, I see. Thanks, Gandalf. Yeah,
James
Fly Mode
Pets
Chairman
doesn't-
1, absolutely. And the James Pets, if one is buying these things as an investment rather than for fun, it turns the hobby into a job. The people turning up at exhibitions to buy stuff and leaving at 11 and not having fun. Absolutely. And also, James says, the club at which I'm a member, the Model Railway Club in London, provides a probate valuation service. That is actually a really good idea, because
That is a good
unfortunately,
advantage for being in a club.
there's a lot of people who are getting ripped off because they're selling a relative who's passed away's collection and being taken advantage of. And you could argue that, you know, that £300,000 collection being sold at a knockdown price is an example of that. But also the way you sell stuff as well. Bear in mind, if you sell everything as a job lot, a £300,000 collection, you want to shift it in one go. Very few people have pockets that deep. So you're actually limiting the pool of people who would buy it to the point where they can lowball you, and who else are you going to go to? So actually, unfortunately, you have to put some legwork in to get the best prices. It's as simple as that. Let's try a different camera angle. I've been mindful I've not been changing these.
I change them every now and again.
Oh, well, have you? Okay, that's fine. Ben Davis says, I was hoping Hattons to do this South East Chatham Road P-Class Pride of Sussex in Robertsbridge Flour Mill Green and P-Class in 754 in SECR Grey again. The Robertsbridge Flour one was a slow seller. That lingered for quite some time, and I can understand why they wouldn't want
You
to
know
replicate.
all about things lingering for a
But
long time, don't you?
754 in Austerity
Pop.
Grey, I'm surprised they haven't done at least a different one in Austerity Grey, because that was the one that sold out first. After I did my review of it, it was the one that sold out even before Bluebell, it must be pointed out.
Yeah, because everyone looked at it and went, actually, that's kind of nice.
Oh, interesting. Trains with Nick says NVIDIA were in hot water last year
yes.
by admitting that they were deliberately restricting quantities of their graphics cards to keep the price up to ridiculous levels.
That's just not good. That's not a good look at all.
Yeah. Leslie Gilpin Railway says auctioneers have a habit of setting prices at the low end of their experts aren't expert. So at the low end, as their experts in inverted commas aren't experts anything other than auction prices. Rick Morley says good news this weekend is the Glen Roth's Model Railway Show at a new larger venue in Kirkcaldy.
What's that? Glengarry Glen Ross? Good film, that.
But yeah, I mean, the Southeastern and Chatham Rail. Well, the other interesting thing, and this is something where it can be very difficult to judge quantities. Bachmann did the I think it was 592 in Southeastern and Chatham Railway, really ornate livery, that C-class. Prices went wild, 500 quid at one point, 550 quid, changing hands online with the scalpers. When Bachmann did another production run, albeit a different running number, but in the same livery, a couple of years later, they ended up on the bargain shelves. And what it shows is, and this is something that I had this chat with a gentleman from Bachmann as well at one of the shows. And they said, what you don't know is if you make a limited edition run of, say, 500, and the scalpers are out there and the prices are going silly, and people say, you should have made more. What you don't know is maybe there's 5 people, so 505 models were what the market had a desire for. So 5 people missed out on that production run, and they're bidding manically against each other for the one model that somebody's put on eBay, giving the illusion that actually there's huge demand for these things. If you do another production run, what's to say that actually those 5 people go, thank you very much, and buy one of those? and you've got all of those other models, people go, it's all right, thanks, I've already got one.
Yeah.
So what'll be interesting is, does Bluebell sell out on a second production run?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that would be a good litmus test. Big hello to Zach Farnworth, says, hi Auntie Jenny and Auntie Zoe. Hope you are both well. And Houston WHAP says, sorry, had internet problems, but now I'm back. Is that something?
We know all about that. Welcome back.
Yeah. And Walter White says, hello everyone. I've come from Railcam and Dawlish Camera. Welcome to you.
Not the Walter White, surely.
Yeah, okay. Can I have some of your special blue crystals?
No. None of that, thank you very much.
Yes. Are you the one that knocks? But that implies a degree of lateness. We should never have shown him that tannoy button. Thanks, Gandalf.
He's been playing with the echo there. Right, guys, we are coming up on the time for the videos.
Really? Gosh, it's gone quick, hasn't it?
The Monday Club goes quick. It's limited edition. Hey! Whoosh,
right,
whoosh.
but intro now, Zantac has asked, why not have the locomotives sold unnumbered, but with a transfer sheet with the loco number so you can choose your own number? Because they don't sell. It was tried by a couple of manufacturers, albeit a while ago, and what they found is people don't want to apply the transfers. They want it all decorated. Now, in O-Gauge...
I can't blame them for that, especially with certain locomotives where the numbers are. It can be quite fiddly to get the transfer at the right
and you have to
position.
have a good steady hand to get it right.
Yeah.
But then again, O-Gauge locomotives are often sold without the number on and leave it for the modeller to put their own number on. And it puts me off buying them. And, I'm of the 00 mentality. I would specifically go for the one that they release with a number on rather than the unnumbered one. I don't want an unnumbered one.
My biggest worry would be, what if I get it in slightly the wrong place?
Yeah.
And then that's ruined. I can't have that number unless I get another transfer sheet. And I might damage the model by taking off the one that I put on the wrong place.
Could be. Jerry BVR asks, will this stream be on eBay at twice the price at 2105?
No, 2106 maybe. I've got it down low. Speaking of putting stuff on certain places though, I am now thinking we might start running the Monday Club from the start, right back from when we started, as a weekly thing on Tuesdays on Facebook. Just putting it up as an extra video, just onto the Monday Club page.
What, in order so people can see where the magic
where
started?
it came from.
Oh, so
I am considering that. I haven't decided to do it yet, but I was thinking, why not? Let's make use of it.
Stu's Model Trains asks, hi Jenny, what do you think of the EFE Rail J94 Saddle Tank Amazon National Coal Board, the weathered one, at Rails of Sheffield for £84? Now, these were released originally by DJ Models, then the tooling has been acquired by EFE Models. They seem to have hung around. Now, I don't know the quantities that they've made, but this is the flip side of the coin. If a manufacturer makes too much of a particular model, you get the fire sale, and we're currently seeing the J94 from EFE go through this phase. And I've watched that locomotive drop from about £149 to currently at 84. And to be honest, when it hit 110, I thought, gosh, you'd have thought it'd be selling by now. Then it went to 99. Then it went, now it's at 84.50 or whatever it is. The model does have flaws. It's a good model, but it has flaws.
Shouldn't all models have flaws? Otherwise your drive will fall out.
Yeah, but the problem is that they're just not selling. And you could argue the market is saturated. Hornby also have their Hunslet austerity. And the EFE models one, excuse me, is not enough better than the old Hornby one to actually warrant replacing what you've already got. So the market already has a lot of Hornby J94s. And there's a lot made by DJ Models as well. And now we've got the EFE ones. You could argue that the market is saturated. And this then blows back on the manufacturers. because you then see models being sold. I've seen stuff at up to 60% off RRP.
Oh my goodness.
And that's the flip side. And you like to think that the scalpers invested in those models by mistake and ended up really being shafted. Walter White says, my nephew finds Olivia's trains cheaper than rails of Sheffield. That's controversial. A lot of people find it the other way around. Now, Olivia's trains tends to charge right up there at the RRP. But what that means is if you want an older model that's sold out everywhere else, Olivia's Trains is usually the last man standing with it in stock.
Of course, prices move on a lot, don't they?
There can be. I mean, it's one of the reasons at Hereford Model Centre I've always championed the models that they have available, because quite often they end up with stuff that was new maybe 5-6 years ago. Nothing wrong with it. It's just the previous version of the same models you can buy new today. But because of the changes in prices, you're looking at, like for a DCC fitted locomotive, I've had a brand new inbox Bachmann DCC fitted like 3F for as little as like £74, something like that. I've had the Hornby S15s for around the £70 mark, brand new, the current standard of model as well. And you can argue that, you know, even though you're buying them at what would have been the RRP back in the day, it could be a good deal by modern standards. SHGP Media asks, what are the flaws? I believe the drive between the wheels can be a bit flaky. They've got very, very thin side rods, which I'm told... I haven't got one. This is just anecdotal evidence.
Yeah, don't take this as a review. Yeah,
side rods that can be a bit weak, and the coupling mechanism is very obtrusive. Just some Northerner. Big hello to you. Great to see you. Hope you find you well. Nick at Bletchton High Level says, yep, fire sale. TMC are doing the Azuma 5-car sets for $286 now. And they were doing some of the breakdown cranes at 50% off. Nick at Bletchton High Level said had a Dapol Terrier Box Hill for £75 at Bristol. That is actually a really good price, actually. Zach Farmer says, I'm hoping to get an apprenticeship, so hopefully I get my grade 4s in my GCSEs. Excellent. You work hard and you'll go a long way. Ben Tullett says, hi Jenny, Zoe and everyone in the chat. I'm a bit late. Gandalf?
A Monday clubber is never late, Frodo Waggons, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
Thanks, Gandalf. Right, so Zoe's just currently prepping some of the videos that we've had sent in. What's wrong?
The PVA Jacob Allen asked if I got his email. I've got your email. You've sent me a picture, but no link. So, yeah, I'm going to try and find it for you, though.
Richard Swiderski says, TARDIS in goods yard. Yes. Well spotted. Platform 10 says, good evening, Jenny and Zoe. Ooh. He went downstairs for biscuits. Thanks, Gandalf. And Trains with Nick says, latest update, Laurie has now raised £14,247 for the Ruston Restoration Fund. That is actually good work. Zantex says, Rails are selling Kato M-Gauge GWR 800 5-car sets for $187. SHGP Media says, I worked hard, ended up in the fens. Some would say that's a long way. Right on Track says, was hoping Bachmann would release more 94XX locos. I believe the Railway Museum still has their special commission in GWR livery available.
Sounds from towns and things like that. The stream is broken again. What?
No, we're still running.
Guys,
I think it was briefly dropped out.
We are sorry. This is a really bad night for this. It's like I 3 weeks in a row now.
We're going to have to switch away from Virgin. They're not providing
BT. We were with BT, and then they got crap. And then we jumped to Virgin, and then they've got crap.
It's always the way. Right on Tracks is just a little plug about the Model U sale. If anyone is interested, 15% off. And don't forget that you can get your very own mini-me that you can add. And we've had some really interesting and innovative ways that mini-me has turned up on people's layouts. I particularly like the broomstick. I got turned into a witch on a broomstick. I thought that was really, really imaginative. So keep the pictures of your installations of the mini Jenny Kirk from the Model U range on your layouts.
Stephen Cameron says, is it because of atmospheric conditions? I hope not, we're on cable.
Yeah, Zantec Mini-Me is available in N-Gauge. If you go to the Model U website, I am in the main range, do a search for me. There's a few other YouTubers in there as well. I think Richard Watson from New Junction is there. I think Ollie from Wardle Road might be there now as well.
Raymond Legg says, move to AT&T or Time Warner maybe? We can't.
No, we don't get them over here.
They're not in the UK.
Just some northerners, as the NRM 94XX models are available at £120 direct from Locomotion Models. And Flymo Chairman 1 has shared the link there to the Jenny's Model U 3D figure.
Thank you very much.
And you order it in the scale that you want. I'm available from N-Gauge right up to 1/12. So you can have a figurine that would be sort of like this sort of size of me, which I think would be quite disturbing.
Other drinks are available. That wasn't product placement.
Oh, I don't drink. I don't drink that rubbish.
It's lovely. It's delicious. Peach iced tea. Lovely.
Charlie Chimp says, we've been with BT for nearly 20 years and only once had a problem. Our broadband runs great. That's good to know,
Our
actually.
issue with BT was that it got very slow and very choppy. However, what we've got to remember is we're basically in the middle of a city.
It's
We
about
have
the
a
contention
huge
rate.
contention rate.
Yeah. Stevie Film says, is it because of atmospheric conditions? No, Iron Horse is not in the room. Oh dear.
So, on that note, shall we move to our first video?
And Raymond Legs, I hear you there. Why can no one get coupler height right? It's especially bad in N scale. Yeah, and in Double O as well. Droopy couplings are the bane of our hobby, are they not?
I've got an idea for you.
Oh, yes.
Glue them all together.
DJ K666 says, imagine the Jenny figurine as a trophy. Oh, we could award that in the awards ceremony. That is like manufacturer of the year, and it would just be me.
Jen, we are not buying into the rumor that it's all about you. Now, you know all the stuff that all the trolls say. We're not buying into it by putting out giant figures of you.
Yeah. But who cares? Once we have their money, who cares? I must add...
Oh, that's going to get cut out and used badly, isn't it? That statement.
I just point out that we don't get a cut of the Model U figures.
No, we
nor
don't.
would I expect to.
No, of course not. It's someone
No.
else's business.
Absolutely. I'm just honoured that I've been immortalised in plastic.
It
I
is
have to
amazing.
say.
So, guys, up first we have Alan at Buckland Junction.
Is this PVHA cloth, Alan?
May well be. Who
Says,
can tell?
Dear Zoe and Jenny, I hope this email finds you both well. Reasonably so, thank you for asking. Could you be so kind to show parts of my latest video of Buckland Junction Model Railway? A short clip of a train running session on a layout and a friend, Captain Static, equals 9.52...
That's the timestamps for his
Oh,
video.
right, sorry.
If you can do this for me, that would be absolutely great. Of course we can.
No
of course
problems.
we can. So
Always
let's go to
a
9:50.
pleasure, and of course, we couldn't do this without you
Well,
guys.
first of all, we're going to come in at the start where we're having a look around.
Absolutely.
So, if you press and see buttons, ease.
Okay, always a pleasure to see progress.
Absolutely.
I love how that bridge has come together.
Yeah.
And it's with this, it's the multiple levels that I really like.
I love multiple levels on a railway because the
And
earth
that's
is not
like,
flat.
yeah, there's like the Dawlish seawall bit there with that tunnel mouth, and then
All those multicoloured wagons are lovely.
yeah, and like the duck under and over, that is really
Yeah.
great. I love a good skew bridge. You've got a lot of ballasting to do though, and some people don't like ballasting. I don't mind it, it must be said, but this is a fun layout for watching trains go.
Oh,
by.
I like the where he's got the streets set out.
Yeah, nice.
So his back seat has gaps where things will go in and out.
Yeah. So looking good here.
Yeah.
Oh, there's
Still
a hit.
bit of building.
There's something
Pillbox,
hidden.
nice.
There's something hidden underneath some of that town scene. I noticed the point in the tunnel. Oh, good use of part of the Metcalfe Castle kit. And
That is a good use, yes.
pillbox as well. Always love a good pillbox. Some great ones. You can buy them in kit form, plastic kit from, I think, Ratio do one. But you can also get them ready to plant, which is what mine is over on the mountain
What's
camp.
he got written on the wall there?
It's graffiti. I'm not sure what it says.
Buckland is something?
Buckland was here or something.
That is good. I like stuff like that.
Bridges going in. I love a good bridge. But this is what I see. This is where you have under and over bridges really do start to really make a layout look good. And you can see here the substructure. So there's going to be some kind of terrain here, which is really going to make things interesting, and it's going to go down and under, I think is what he's pointing out there. So there's a lot going on. Should we move forward a little bit and see if we can...
Everyone's saying the graffiti says Buckland is God. I like that.
Oh, okay.
So we move on a little bit.
Oh, there's the PVA and J-cloth. And nice use of the retaining walls as well to kind of make roads and stuff look like they cut into the landscape. Oh, it's bullied is God.
Ah, right. Southern Railways. Right. Look at the amount of space they've got.
And
tunnels going everywhere.
Yeah, and the landscape formers cheaply cut from just bits of thick card. Nicely done.
Excellent.
Lightweight but effective. And it's free material.
Values 56XXS. Alan makes his own pillboxes. You can buy them.
Oh, they're like 3D printed.
Now that is cool.
Nice.
See, this is what I love about this hobby. So, I've worked out how to do this, and I'll sell you one if you don't want to do it yourself.
Yeah.
People help each other. I love it.
Absolutely. But we've got the PVA and J cloth coming together quite nicely here. So, and I love the way they've got tracks going everywhere.
That
here,
is
there,
a
and
proper
everywhere.
in
Higgledy-piggledy, higgledy-piggledy. I love it.
Yes.
As
So,
opposed to
there's 950.
piggly-wiggly, piggly-wiggly.
Oh, here we go. So we're going to have some trains moving. Choo-choo.
Yay! That's
Here we
a
go.
pretty interesting junction there. I do like that.
Lights or cameras there on the bracings.
I think they're cameras.
It's a good idea.
Joe Smith says, I got my Fowler order today, made a few mistakes with the order, ordered N-gauge for some of the models. Ooh, should have been HO. It's easily done because sometimes they mix and match in the listings. It's a bit naughty. Scott McNeil says, hi Jenny from Ireland. A big hello to you.
There.
Are they late?
A Monday clubber is never late to the wagons, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
Thanks, Gandalf.
Thank you. Oh, I do love the H2 Atlantic there. This bit I love. We've watched this scene develop.
We've seen this area.
And I like
that's
the
so good.
under and over really well. Ah, this
So
is the bit
much
we
going
saw
on.
earlier on. Look, the PVA and J-cloth has gone in
Oh,
now.
that just looks amazing now. So
It's
we've got
really building it up.
Yeah.
We're getting some really great progress. And it's a great way of building cuttings,
and look how
tunnels.
easy that goes over those
they're
braces that you put down earlier.
Are they going to put something like a canal in under there? Might be
Oh,
fun.
that was so cool.
Yeah. So this is coming
this is
together
going
really nicely.
I'm going to jump it on a little bit more, see if there's any more. I
And
think there is a bit more
big
progress.
hello to Dundas Junction Model Railroad, James. Good evening. Sorry, good afternoon, Jenny. Good afternoon to you. Great to see you. That bridge has come together well.
That looks
And
lovely.
look at the static grass.
Yeah. And the way he's managed to curve the road and make it fit in.
Interesting.
It's always been there.
Can I just say, interesting choice of base colour. He's gone for like a greeny blue. I go for brown, but clearly its results speak for themselves. He gets a good finish with that static grass. That looks good there. You see with that wall and the grass. Hasn't that come together nice?
Absolutely, I love it. This is like top tier, man.
And this is nice. We're seeing the different stages coming together.
Yeah, now it's darkened them off again on those things.
So we've got some trains running. A bit of Class 20 action on the milk train. They look like Hornby 00 tankers.
So Jen, when's our next layout coming together? Because we still have to go up the mountain, which means we both need to build a layout.
Keep it to yourself. That's for a TV series.
No, it's not. It's for our challenge. We were doing a challenge. I'm taking an N-gauge model up a mountain for Jenny Kirk 2.
Yeah, I know, but we offered it up for to be on a forthcoming TV series, which I'm yet to hear back about.
Okay. Fair
Oh, I
enough.
do like that bridge. I love bridges. Bridges are the future. That's a nice tunnel map. Some of these tunnels as well. I'm not familiar with it. I think he may be making them using, is it scale scenes, printable textures?
We can't tell you, Richard Swarovski. Sorry. Apparently, I shouldn't have said. I thought we were talking openly, but apparently we're not.
But I love these bridges. That's really coming together nicely. So it's just so great to see this layout slowly developing. And there's some really great scenery action here. And of course, I'll just say, Alan Reynolds is the modeler who shared with me the secret of the PVA and J-cloth.
Thank you so much
Is
for
this
sending
the
it
end
in.
of the video?
Yep.
Oh.
Photos at the end of how it's
So
built.
this. Oh,
wow.
This I like. But PVA J-cloth, Alan shared with me his technique, and I've been using it ever since, it must be said. It's a great technique, very cheap to use and effective. So I am really intrigued. Look at it, how it's coming together. This is...
Notice the multiple different colours on the grass.
Yeah.
It's something that you've mentioned before, and it really works.
And like card strips over the card formers. So it's actually a very cheap, very lightweight method of doing the scenery. Really nicely done. So thank you very much for sharing that with us. We do have a lot of other videos, so I'm going to move on. If you want to just check that
we
camera
have
has
spent
come
a bit of time on that, but it was worth it.
Absolutely. So Jerry BVR says, poor Zoe got a dose of foot in mouses. It's not like...
I'm sorry.
We haven't been asked to keep it super secret, but normally it's the unwritten rule. We don't know whether it's going ahead. There's lots of ifs, buts, and maybes, but it's something that's in the pipeline. If it doesn't appear on TV, we will do it for this channel. And Iron Horse Railways, a static grass applicator, really easy to use. You may borrow one of mine and have a play with it. To be honest, it's super easy. Apparently we're getting the Ring of Death. Can't help it. Basically...
Well, according to my version, I've got the monitor up and it's still running.
Oh, interesting. So, do I see a Class 22 there?
Don't spoil it. We haven't got there yet. Charlie from Particle Station says, hi, Jenny and Zoe. Actually, he said,
Hello.
hi, Henny and Zoe.
Henny. Yeah.
And that's your new name, that is, Henny.
Oh, am I Henrietta? What?
Hi, Henny. Or if you're in the northeast, hi, Henny.
Okay.
Henny is just a term for, affectionate term for someone that you know.
Okay.
Hence, Hoya Hammer How here, Henny.
Okay. Do you want to put Bite Our Groove back in the
It's
box?
not Bite a Grav. Here we go.
Bite Our Groove. Bite Our Groove.
Particle Stations put together a running session from various clips for us, so this should be
Okay.
fun.
Do you want to let her rip?
Here we go. Beep beep.
Beep, beep. Oh, Class 35. Oh, again, love the bridge.
That is good.
Yeah, and this is a nice
Nice bit of
layout with
speed.
plenty of you're a bit of a speed
Oh,
demon.
look at that. I love the way... Oh my goodness, those walls.
Yeah,
Wow. Those walls have seen some action. I like it.
yeah. Got a pair of 35s there. Nice.
Oh.
And this shows as well what you can do with a lot of the, if you're not confident making your own platforms, there's some great stuff available, ready-made. So this is using the Hornby platforms to great effect. And you can see there, embellished with some of the like Metcalfe brick papers or Super Quick brick papers.
Metcalfe does some great papers.
Absolutely. Although I must admit, I tend to go with the Super Quick building papers, but I prefer the Metcalfe buildings.
I just like... Oh, that is so well done.
H&H Express Model and Scale Train says, hello everybody, greetings from
hello
home.
there.
They're running late.
A Monday club hour is never late, Frodo Waggons, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
Thanks, Gandalf. Hey, Gandalf, lay some skin on my green finger.
Here you go. Oof.
Ooh. There we go.
Now, here's something I've noticed that I didn't realise I was
Oh,
this kind of...
TGV.
I didn't realise I was this kind of person, but apparently I am.
What?
I've been looking at the old buses, and I like the ones that look like the trams. I realise I'm a tram person.
You like trams?
I like the old trams.
You know you can get model trams that run on this track.
I'm thinking I might have to pick a couple up.
Roco do some. They're like German outline trams or Austrian outline trams, but they are quite nice and they do run incredibly well.
Yeah. I like them. I like
Is that
the
a Black 5?
It's like when I saw some of them in when we were at Stratford Barn. There's one or two in a few video games. I've got the old Assassin's Creed, that kind of thing. I like them. They're interesting.
James Petts approves of tram people. Alex Dent does warn that we should not prod Gandalf. That wasn't prodding.
Yeah,
I was very careful not to prod Gandalf.
Don't prod
No.
the wizard, but apparently a fist bump might be okay.
Fist bump, like, yay! But prodding the monkey, that's... oh gosh, the monkey appears to have some clowns about their person. Hold on, are we getting a tumble of clowns? Oh, and the straggler. Always the straggler.
So what I'm also thinking is, I need an N-gauge tram. Who does N-gauge trams that are good, everyone?
I don't know.
I'd love to know.
Oh, yeah, and actually, Richard Swiderski confirms it is a Black 5. Flymo Chen would suggest Crick is the place to be. Oh, sorry, Critch is the place to be for trams. Critch Tramway Museum in Staffordshire. I thought it was in Derbyshire, but I know where it is.
I'll have to have a look.
We'll have to go there.
Be a nice
actually.
day out.
Yeah, I think
Also,
maybe
I want
we
to go
should-
and see the...
Oh, Beamish. Beamish has got the
Beamish
tram.
is great. Also,
Yeah.
I want to go and see the Aircraft Museum in Manchester. We live nearby, and we've never been.
I've been.
Kate will do some Ensico trams. I'll have to have a look.
Okay,
Thank you.
we'll have to have a look. And SHGP Media says, have you seen Statfold Barn has changed their name? Now go by Statfold Country Park. Huh. Didn't know they'd changed their name. I'm not seeing Warbler in. Is Warbler okay? Because I haven't seen him in, but he's our man on the ground.
On the ground, on the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can tell that this has been filmed over several sessions because there was a bridge there that had a top now, but didn't in the previous
I
one.
like that
So this
bridge.
is nice. The museum in Manchester's now closed. Well, it is 8:30.
That might be a class 29 actually, not a 22.
Look
Old
at the
sad
lighting and
eyes.
everything. It looks
Yeah,
great.
Yeah. Nice use. It's the Hornby 00 signals. Really, really good.
Yeah.
There is
Looking
a bus.
good.
Yeah, Leslie Gilpin Railways. I've been to the bus museum a few times. Never actually filmed there, but it used to be a model rail exhibition there. Been there quite a few times for that.
Speaking of museums, I want to go back to London and have a look at the Natural History Museum again. Last time I was there, I spent ages looking at the dinosaurs, and they were great.
Yeah.
I was actually there for a meeting in the afternoon, so I went on the earliest train possible to get to the museum at 9 a.m. when it opened, just so I could hang around with the dinosaurs.
Excellent.
I turned up to the meeting carrying some stuffed velociraptors.
Raymond Legg says Tomix also makes trams, both powered and unpowered. Tomy Tech is unpowered, but you can buy a Tomix chassis.
Cool.
So just want to check that camera's come
I
up.
will do
And
that. Thank you
Ridgeway
so much
Park-
there, Particle.
Thank you. Ridgeway Park 00 says, hi Jenny, I've now received my Monday Club wagon. Can you explain? I believe there's a story behind the numbering. Well, William Loud & Sons had 3 of these. But if you look, there's a little bit of an Easter egg in the running number because it ends in 211, as in 211, taking it to 11. So, but yes, they had 3 of these PAL bricks. Although it's not known what the other running numbers were. Some people say they were consecutive running numbers. Others are not so sure. But certainly the confirmed sighting, because it was quite memorable, is the one which had the running number that ended in 211, which I think that William Loud did specify that he wanted that one to be lettered up in his personal use fleet because it ended in the applicable number.
So there we go.
And Flymo Chairman wants this. The next ones will be 212. Of course, in the 80s, they did bring out their taking it to 12 premium range. Oh, no, that wasn't the 80s. Was that the 90s?
Yes.
Big hello to John JMC, our guru of sound. It's great to see you, and I hope I find you well, but you are late. Thanks, Gandalf.
Beep, beep.
And of course, yes, Leslie Gilpin Railways, the Trolleybus Museum in near Doncaster, actually in a place called Sandy. And yes, I have been there as well.
You've been everywhere, you have.
Simon Trains Model Railway Showcase says, wonder if the running number was 209, 210 and 211. Turning it to 211.
I like it.
Raymond Legg says, I see an American train. Yes, there's an Alco S4
Yes.
that is doing the rounds on the layout.
It kind of got lost, so we've given it a home.
Well, we found that, actually, funny enough, and the video comes out. That was it, Sandtoft. I knew it began with the word sand. Sandy's obviously right down the A1 near Potton and Bedford. But the Alco S1, I picked it up for £50, DCC fitted, as new in box from the Vintage Carriage Trust shop.
Yeah.
At Ingro West on the Keighley and Worth Valley Railway. Now, our full video of our visit goes out on Friday, but if you can't wait for that, Iron Horse Railways has a video up of the visit. You can see us flitting around, but also he's done an interview with me. So if you want to see an exclusive, a gritty, behind-the-scenes interview with me, then that is also...
Can I just ask you one thing?
What?
Can you stop beatboxing on the stool you sat on? It's like you're sitting on a drum kit. Every time you're talking, it's like doof 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 doof.
Right, okay.
So next up we have, and also, by the way, I also had a vlog that came out, and Jen forgot to mention it, even though she's
and
in
also, which channel's it on?
it. ZJKR.
ZJKR also has a vlog video covering the day. But I'm always last to the party. John JMC says the time lapse was good fun.
Yes.
Oh, was that which?
On the video that we saw. PBJ Clough Allen.
Yes, I did like
Right at
that.
the end, it was good.
I was showing how it's been built, and then of course there's the Seaton Tramway Museum down near Seaton Junction. If you're in the southern part of the UK. But yeah, we must do the Critch Tramway Museum. I've never been there. I've done Beamish, as have you, and I went to the Trolleybus Museum.
Sorry, but I grew up in the northeast. There were two places you went for school trips: the Captain Cook Museum and Beamish. And every year it was a toss-up on which one you went to.
Can I just say, living in Manchester, our go-to museums were the Science Museum in Manchester. And we used to go to Holker Hall a lot. And where was the other place we used to go to? There was somewhere else we used to go to, and it was so memorable I can't remember it. We used to go up to Housted's Fort on the Roman fort on Hadrian's Wall.
Oh, the Hadrian's Wall is so good.
Yeah. There's a tram museum in Manchester as well, near Cheetham Hill, I think.
We should have a look. Also, we should walk Hadrian's Wall
My dad's done it.
as a charity thing.
Yeah.
Right. What's up next, Jen?
So, next up we've got Simon Poole. It says, hi Jenny and Zoe. Big hello to you, Simon.
Hey.
It says, during the May Bank holiday weekend, I visited the Telford Steam Railway to ride some DMUs, but also saw a double O gauge model railway called Top Link Stafford, which was a former exhibition railway layout built by Tony Clark but donated to the Telford Steam Railway. The station is based on Stafford Station during the LMSBR days before the brutalism of the 1960s. Thanks for the Monday Club. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So, do you want to bring that up?
I will. Here we go. Where's the button?
I've never been to the Isle of Man, 156 Andrew, but again, on my list of places I want to go.
Especially after we watched that DVD.
Yes. Yeah, which I think is in here. So you want to press the button? So I'm going to find that DVD.
Oh my goodness, these look fun.
There we go. Steam Locos in profile. This Manx and Miniatures, excellent DVD, and we thoroughly enjoyed it. We did do a review video of this on the channel, but I believe it is still available to buy.
This is an amazing layout. That fun fair looks so good.
Oh, I say.
Yeah.
I like
That
the
is
footbridge.
so good.
Bit of rocket action going on as well.
Trades with Nick says, I saw dodgems, I approve. Oh, that...
This is nice.
Can you imagine doing dodgems and things like that
Oh,
with
look at
those
the colour.
Magnafix or whatever it is?
Look at the colour light signal. I do like
Yeah.
that. 4-track what?
Well-
Right, which is...
YouTube decided it wasn't going to put an advert at the start. It was going to shove one in where it could.
Okay, well, let's get back to that. So, yeah, that is nice, actually. Oh, is that Del Boy's Robin Reliant as well?
This is...
Oh,
the
it's
colours are
passing
so
loops.
nice as well.
Right, so it's actually a 3-track main line with a passing loop. Right,
This
there's
is really
another
cool.
line up on the top as well.
Yeah. Multiple.
This is good fun. This is a nice, fun layout.
Yeah.
I like that with the 2 different layers, levels even.
Simon Train says the channel's not even monetized. Yeah, YouTube's been doing that a lot lately.
Yeah, so basically you never see the money. That YouTube just pockets it.
Yeah.
Um,
For some reason, I want to know if it's at Screwfix. Don't know why. Other places are available.
AKA known as Builder Porn World. Oh, they've got BSA 500s.
They've got a 3/4 Gribbly.
Yeah. Oh, I like the signal box with the
I
lights.
like those yellow
I like the
wagons next to
Ferris
the
wheel.
Ferris
Look
wheel.
at the Ferris
The
wheel.
Ferris wheel is cool.
Oh, they're the Hornby Rocket ones.
Yeah.
This is nice.
That reminds me. You know, I bought that windmill.
Yes.
The double O gauge windmill. I really want to try and animate that.
Make it
So-
spin.
Yeah, so it goes round.
We can do that.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too hard.
Hey, the hand of God in the background.
Where?
Naughty train. Well, it's gone now, but the naughty train got put on the track. This is nice. Where would we put? Would we put the windmill up here? Would you want the windmill up here?
Jen, you could put the windmill wherever you want. I just like
Depends
building
how
the
big
models.
it is.
Pretty big. It
I
looks pretty
think
tall.
right open in the corner up there.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, I'd have to cut the top of the hill flat, but I could do that.
This is lovely.
This is actually, it's like just relaxing to watch trains go by.
What I'm really liking though is the colour scheme. Look
Yeah.
at the muted colours.
Iron Horse Railway says, a few of my subscribers have been telling me that my videos have advertising in the middle of them now, despite not being monetized yet either.
I know the feeling. A lot of my older videos on all my channels have adverts.
Can I just say that, you know, people like trolls make out like, oh, look at you making loads of money from YouTube. The money you make from YouTube ads is a pittance. They keep putting it down and down and down. Now, 10 years ago, when monetization first came in, you could make a small fortune off not a lot. But they
you
have
can make a
over
really
the
nice
years,
living, but you can't now.
now it's only the very big channels make serious money.
Yeah.
I do not make a lot of money out of the adverts on YouTube. Just want to put that out there.
Look at the textures on that. Oh, that looks so real.
Oh, I thought the windmill. We'd have to have a little windy miller.
Yes.
Yes. So, Model U, do you do a windy miller?
If
Actually,
not,
the windy miller needs to be Iron Horse Railways.
oh, Jenny.
Yes! Yes! Oh, I see what I did there. This is good. I like this.
Yeah.
There's plenty going on. There's always stuff moving, which is great. A bit of dust on them cars, though. But, Zoe,
Sorry.
I'm afraid
you
that-
mentioned Windy.
I'm afraid that the ghost of Iron Horse Railways has paid us a visit. Oh, really? Partick Hill Station says, once you become monetized and it takes 4,000 viewing hours, you can continue as you are and add advertising or go the other route and ask your viewers to support you. Not sure if I would go there. I'll be
To be honest with you, we went both directions. But hey, because there is a point to this. We are trying to make make a go of it. But also, it costs a fortune to put all the cameras in.
Within Model Railway says, but Jenny, you are in the pay of Hornby, so another YouTuber said. Which, can I just say, which YouTuber said that? Because we need names and addresses. So
look at that. The amount of levels this is on. This is amazing.
Yeah. No, I'm not.
No, you're not in the pay of... You've been in the pay of so many people, according to so many people.
Yeah, I've never been paid, though.
Yeah.
But,
you have to go around it.
Can I just say, do challenge these people. Just outright call them a liar, because they are. Because they're people who make up stories about not just me, but a lot of other YouTubers as well. And they're just outright lies, and it all boils down to the green-eyed jealousy monster.
It's not even that. This has been wonderful. We've got to move on now, though. But guys,
I've got one of those.
So you've done a brilliant job here, Sam Trains.
This is lovely.
He's saying it's not yet monetized. Guys, get subscribed, because this guy is doing some great stuff.
Don't just subscribe. Watch the videos. Because you need, wonderful. I think it's 4,000 hours on it. Is it a rolling 12-month period?
4,000. And they do it on a rolling period so that people who get monetized and then just stop don't continue.
And it can be quite tricky. I mean, we're lucky in a respect. I mean, the Monday Club will probably about between 500 and 800 hours of watch time. So I am very mindful that we're quite lucky in that we make the 4,000 hours over a few days. But I know it's very difficult, and often it's the watch hours is the most difficult one. Getting the 1,000 subscribers you need is often
hard,
the easy,
but it's relatively easy compared to the other bit. Yeah, I've been on YouTube for a ridiculous amount of time. I've been here since 2009 with an account, but I've been here from the start watching.
Rick Morley,
I can't get 4,000 hours.
Rick Morley says, "Don't listen to the YouTube noobs." And SHGP Media says, I've had the hour count for ages. Getting subs has proven really difficult. So everybody, go on over, check out SHGP Media and do sub, because clearly the content is there. Good. The content is there because people are watching it, and for most people, that 4,000 hours is the harder one to get.
Yes.
So do subscribe and see if we can get you monetized.
I love this. Iron Horse Railway says Jenny is also employed by KR Models, Securascale, Hornby, Bachmann, Tesco's, Sainsbury's, the DVLA, and Help the Aged.
Langton Road says, I've got 213 subs. I've ordered a Ferrari in 176 scale.
I love it.
Oh, hold on.
Excuse me. Right.
Oh, hold on. Platform 10 says, Jenny, Barry Davis said that you were in the pay of Hornby. Check it out. Is that in a video? We're going to have to go and have a look.
If he said it in a video, then there we are. Didn't Barry Davis get in trouble a lot long ago for upsetting someone else on YouTube? Yeah. Unfortunately, there are some people out there that will say things just to see what happens.
And what they don't understand is it is defamatory. If I was so minded, I could sue them. And if you get sued for defamation, the only defence is proving what you said is true. And as it's an outright lie, so what was that name again?
Barry Davis.
So, Barry Davis, you're a liar, an absolute liar.
Yeah.
Making stuff up. Do you feel big spreading lies on YouTube?
Moreover, here's the other thing. What they're saying isn't just that you're in the pay of someone. They're implying that having not mentioned that
you're committing fraudulent behaviour.
Yes,
they're actually implying that you're being a criminal,
violating the advertising regulations in America, and therefore committing wire fraud.
Yeah, and as Stevie Film points out, Fox News learnt the hard way to the tune of $785 million.
There isn't a defence to lying.
No. Simon Train's Model Railway Showcases. Barry Davis. Yeah, I heard that name before. Same person says people shouldn't show their face on camera. Oh dear, is he a coward?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, Trains with Nick. That was my reaction. Barry who? 156 Andrew telling fibs. Feel free to call out these people, because it's not just me that the little boys
Naive Gage says to successfully sue someone, you need to prove that you've suffered loss as a consequence. reputational loss is relatively easy to prove, especially if what you do is you sue for £1.
Yeah, and what you've got to remember is, and then they're lumbered with the costs, and the costs are where the big money is.
Exactly, because you're not, by suing for £1, you're actually saying, I'm not here for money, I'm here to right a wrong.
Yeah, because the thing is, you look at my channel stats, there's a lot of people do watch my videos.
Reputational damage is a big thing, so it's not a defence. Right, guys, let's move on from that, because we don't want to give them more attention than they deserve, which is none.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at who's up next. So, what have we got here? Langton Road running session.
Hot dog... No, it's not the guy who did the Sillet Bang.
Oh, I'm Barry Scott. This is Sillet Bang. Boom.
Yeah. Yes.
I just like
although Barry Davis would say that he was in the pay of Billy's replacement speakers.
I just love the idea of doing a quick jokey thing like, "Hi, I'm Larry Snot, and this is Sillet Bang," and then it just explodes.
Barbellmeister says, "Do you want to put it out there who you are in the pocket of?" Nobody. I am not paid to be in the pocket of anybody. I do this because I am an enthusiast, like
The only
you guys are.
only company you've been employed by was DCC Concepts, and you were very much upfront. So you told people exactly who you were.
You'll know if I'm
for.
working for a company, because I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I worked for DCC Concepts for, I think it's about 5 months, something like that.
Yeah.
And we've occasionally been employed to do product launch videos for KR Models, TMC, Rails of Sheffield. Doesn't mean that we're employed by them. We basically, they paid for us to do a promotional video, and that's it.
And you'll see that things come up like paid sponsor, things like that.
And it doesn't hide the fact. You can see on screen, it'll tell you, includes paid for promotion. What that actually means is it's talking about the sponsors. Now, I'm sponsored by Ellis Clark Trains and by Train-O-Matic. In the past, we've had on and off different sponsors as well, including Roker Prototype Models, Rails of Sheffield, and I'm trying to think who else. But, you know, advertising on YouTube doesn't pay an awful lot.
No. Yeah, people are allowed to have more than one job, says Peter Jackson.
Absolutely. And it's this snobbery.
I used to work 2 jobs back to back. I was exhausted.
Can I just say, there seems to be an element of snobbery amongst some of the jealous types, that they seem to think that you're not allowed to make a living out of doing video content. You know, try telling that to Jeremy Paxman or to
Gary Lineker, we'd have your arms.
Yeah, or you know, Johnny Depp. They're like, oh no, you should work for free for our entertainment. No, it didn't work like that.
Lemon Legs, I remember the weirdo that
Oh,
went
yes!
Trains for no reason. What was that about?
Oh, there was some weird video. Didn't show himself on screen. Maybe that was that Barry guy as well, under an assumed name or something. Who knows? But now it was like, it's like, I hate Sam's Trains. And it was just...
You're allowed to not like people, but why are you doing this?
I'm not a big fan of Sam's Trains, and I do make that abundantly apparent. But that video was just like, Sam, you got somebody living who's letting you live rent-free in their heads.
Yeah, some of the things he was claiming, like, this isn't just someone who doesn't like a few videos. This is someone who's got a conspiracy theory in his head.
Oh yeah, there was a real, like, you know...
It was quite below the belt, and I didn't like it.
Yeah, it was like one step away from saying that there were lizard people who were pulling the strings. Vic Freak says, Jen, do these naysayers know that you're married to a solicitor? Are you?
I'm not. No. I can't make that claim. I have not passed the bar. I did not take the solicitor's thing either. The solicitor's standards tests and all of that. I have a law degree, and I was going to go for the bar, and then I got offered the opportunity to go into politics. So I never took the bar exam.
So,
but I do have a law degree.
Good night, Marin49. Do take care. I do know it is a school night, so do take care. Heritage said, did you all hear... I know that Rapido was open to suggestions. Absolutely, yeah, Rapido were being advertising for people to suggest like new models that they want to see. So,
Mega Gronk! Mega Gronk! Mega Gronk! Mega Gronk!
Not a cult. SHGP Media says, wait, so the lizard people aren't running things?
Nope.
I was like, oh, that's what you think.
Jenny, you look no different. Oh,
Yeah.
Guess where I'm sleeping tonight? It's the doghouse.
Rick Morley says, I'm off this week. Pours another wine.
Nice. Okay, so what we've got up next is from Lantern Road.
Back up. Trains with Nick says, I want Rapido's Class 04. They're making an 04. It certainly needs to be done to modern standards, but Bachmann announced that they were going to do something. Oh, this is nice. Is this a model or the real thing?
I'd assume it's a model.
Actually,
So here we go. That's a very nice intro you've got there, Lantern
I do
Road.
actually really do appreciate that. Iron Horse Railway says, if you watch Jenny's eyes closely, every so often she blinks sideways. Lizard people, hashtag lizard people employed by Hornby. I do have a little bit of a twitch. I am aware of it. You're not pointing out anything that I didn't already know, but
There's a Twix as well.
yeah. I like your
Twix.
track.
This
Is
is
nice.
really nice.
And your class 20s are moving slower than mine, but that's nice. And this is actually, it's a period of BR which is sort of 80s, during the 1980s, which I do remember with a fondness, and you don't really see it modelled quite enough.
Whoa, look at that. The way he's blocking off some of these shots makes these things look real.
Yeah. Nice weathering on your ballast as well.
Iron Horse, don't worry about
Sarah
it. don't
Davis
worry.
says the lizard people want you to believe they're not in charge. I'm not.
Here's the thing about
wait a minute.
Here's the thing about this idea. Oh, the lizard people are running the world. Well, they're not doing a very good job about it, are they? Have you seen the world? It's a mess.
57305 Northern Princess says, we're all Silurians and Sea Devils.
You speak for yourself.
Jennifer Horton says, the BBC Rail Watch era, 1989. Yeah, so these are the liveries that I do remember with a degree of fondness from my childhood. I do love the HEA. Egg Rider says, Rapido do have details of their 04 project on the website. I must have missed that one. I'm going to have to look that up.
Some of the shots he's got here, they look real.
This is really nice work.
Yeah. And look at that. That's so good.
Yeah. James Petts approves of the 1980s
I like
as well.
I like the 1980s. They were great. The lizard people live underground, so you'll need some London Underground stock. I
Big
like your
hello
thinking.
to Dominic ZDE. Great to see you, and I hope to find you well. Oh, they're late.
A Monday clubber is never late, Frodo Wagons. Nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Gandalf.
Gandalf.
I do see the HEA hopper with their slab sides like that. I really do like them. I can't really describe why. I prefer them to the HAAs, which seem to get all the glory. The PCA depressed centre tankers are interesting. Nice class 58. Is that the EFE one or the Hellion one? 47s have grown on me. Although Iron Horse Road says class 58, never got them, to be fair, always left me feeling cold. Yeah, I felt that about 47, but I'm at a point where I think class 58 is one of the few classes I don't have in my collection. I kind of feel I need to investigate getting one. I like that, all in the rail freight livery. It's a very 80s livery for me, the red and the grey. It's like an 80s colour scheme. But I quite like it. I really do. Vic Freak says, I like the 1980s. I had a 32-inch waist. Amen to that. Yeah. That picture is really good.
This is so well done. Really so well done.
Those 20s are really creeping. But I'm not moving. No, you can't see me moving.
If I move this slow, I'll be invisible.
156 Andrew asked, what happened to the class 58? EWS withdrew them en masse. They weren't exactly the most reliable of locomotives. Although they did then subsequently send a number of them. I can't remember whether it was Spain. Only Class 58 in preservation is being launched at the Severn Valley Railway Diesel Gala. And Peter Jackson Chile Heath says one left, 58023. Are they all gone? Dominic Z says, Jenny, Dicky Toys also released some Kickline RC Turbo races this year. Dominic Z, our Kickline correspondent, always on the money when it comes to the Kickline range. Apparently the stream's broken. Wheel of Doom.
It's still running on mine. I don't know.
Are you watching the buffer though?
I'm looking for it, but I'm not seeing
back
it.
Again, apparently, says Ham Shackleton. Oh,
Right,
Simon
guys.
Train's Mother O showcases. There's also 58016 as well, so they're not all gone.
We have time.
Oh my word!
We have enough time for a couple of photos.
I can't believe how quick tonight has gone.
So these ones are from Andrew Rennie, and they appear to be. If these aren't real, I'll be amazed. And look at this. What
DVT is that, or a Class 91?
I don't know. 91.
91. Yeah.
That is very interesting.
Yeah. LMS. We've seen that
and
Southern
what's this,
Train.
Jen?
Yeah. That's a 37. Southern Train Girl. Where's it go? A Class 58 being turned into a replica of LMS 10,000, and we saw that actually at Wirksworth. We went and had a chat with them. What?
I was about to say, is that me? Because it's a person with a hat
Nice
and
to
my
see.
kind of shoes,
Nice to see a bit of cleavage on display.
but that's not my type of top. So it's not me. But that is the kind of position that people would normally find me in at one of these events.
Yeah.
Because I'm usually the one taking the pictures.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for sending those in.
Oh, absolutely. Nice to see.
Yes.
So
thank
there
you very
we
much,
are.
Andrew.
Coming.
We're going to have to deal with it.
It's really struggling now.
Yeah, we're going to have to deal with this.
So
right,
we've
guys,
just
we're
come back. So we're going to wrap things up. And what have we talked about today? We've gone through some of the new release announcements from Bachmann, from EFE, from Graham Farish, but also Simon Kohler retiring again. I don't think he'll properly retire. And I'm adamant. When people ask me, would you go for the job?
You're adamant. I
Yeah.
loved your music.
Oh, lovely. I still say Montana's the best one for the job. She should most certainly have first refusal on that. I think Simon will still be about in a consultancy role. I don't think he's just going to just like from hero to zero and just go and weed his garden or something. We've also talked a little bit about something else. Can't remember what it was. Oh, the locomotive that plays God Save the King.
I actually don't mind that. And I have to say,
Yeah.
for those that are complaining, just don't buy it.
And then also we talked a bit about scalpers. Unfortunately, it is becoming a bit of a plague.
Yeah.
And we like the fact that Happens are reintroducing the exact same model, Bluebell, in the P-Class to kind of head off some of the people who are charging up to £600 for a model of that. So
That's
it's nice to
ridiculous.
see. At £85, that is an absolute bargain. Do get that ordered if that is a must-have model for you. But no, we've talked about the mechanics as well of limited editions. Is it a good or a bad thing for the hobby? I think in small doses they are a good thing to allow, for example, a small shop to be able to have something nice and exclusive. We ourselves here have the Monday Club wagons, still examples available to buy at the link down below. And I think they're a great way of having models that wouldn't otherwise be produced, but when everything effectively becomes a limited edition, then that is a bad thing. On top of that, we also talked a bit about the visit to Daypol. If you haven't seen that video, do go and take a look at it, showing that models are still being made by some manufacturers here in the UK. And we did a full factory tour at Daypol, and that was actually quite an informative video, and it showed the advantages of making some things in the UK, although I don't think that we're going to see locomotives or complex electronic type things being made in the UK just yet. I think that's a long way off, but Daypol has shown that even some quite complex wagons and coaches like the O-gauge stuff can be made in the UK, and of course let us not forget that Pico have been making pretty much all their range except for the locomotives that they have in partnership with Cato here in the UK and have never had production elsewhere, so it can be done. But
Can I
until
also say one thing?
What?
When people all say that we can't make locos in the UK anymore, we don't have the skills. Skills can be taught.
The skills are there, it's whether you want to pay the price.
Yes.
And we did delve a little bit into why these things do tend to be quite expensive, and it's a lot of it's down to the labour. And you have to pay a good wage. You can't just say, oh, we'll pay minimum wage, because people won't do the job for that, because it's actually quite a tough job, quite skilled job, and you have to pay accordingly. And it's the same problem they've got in China, where if they don't pay accordingly,
Then
the
they'll go
workforce,
somewhere else.
they go and make iPhones because it's better paid and easier work.
Yeah.
So that's what you're competing with. But until next time, this is me, Jenny Kirk, saying you take great care of yourself. It's been so great to have your company. Thank you very much for coming, and we'll see you next week. We've got some great videos coming up on Wednesday and Friday, and there's also a special in the format of an interview with Neil from Daypol, talking a bit about some of the things where we do finally nail down whether it's Dapol or Daypol. And that little bit should have gone into the video on Friday, but for some reason it was missed out.
Oh, I'm
But
sorry.
the full interview is coming as a special. We've got a Wednesday video. Oh yeah, it's a Will It Fit 21-pin edition for the HM7000 decoders. Really just doing you guys a service. I test it so you don't have to, and showing you which locomotives they fit into. But until next time, you take care. Bye for now. Oh, hold on. Exclusive Monday Club William Loud & Sons Palbrick wagon is now available from Rails of Sheffield. Order yours now with confidence.
Train now departing in the 2108 service to Clown Tumble, stopping at Bolton Trinity Road, Mineth Tatis, Tatis Neworth, the unnamed layout, the War of the Wells layout, Pittsburgh, somehow, and then on to Clown Tumble. That's the 2108 service to Clown Tumble. If you go up to the loft today, you'll sure have a big surprise. If you go up to the loft today, you'll never believe your eyes. For every train there ever was has gathered there together, because today's the day that Jenny does the Monday Club. Good night. The next train to arrive at platform 174 is the 2109 service to Eindhoven, because it's a request stop. That's the 2109 service to Eindhoven. Shaky Hands Shared Model Railway says, can I have 2 pickets to Pittsburgh?
And also, can I just say a big hello to Ian Narita, who is one of our Patreons, who's just sent the message, hello from Southwest Arkansas in the US. So a big hello to you. Good night, everybody. Take care. Oh, Tumble the Clowns.